How y'all doing out there in video land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, today, I just want to have a little discussion. Oh, by the way, happy Martin Luther King Day. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Hope everybody's having a great day. And I just want to have a little Demko day today. A little Demko day. By the way, my order came in for the code 4. My code 4 is here. Here it is right here. Code 4 from Midway, USA. But my Snaggletooth parts aren't here yet. So we won't be doing that one until Wednesday, most likely. That's when it says, the mail says it's going to be delivered. It says it's going to be delivered on Wednesday. So look forward to that one on Wednesday. That'll be the one where I do the polishing and everything on that one. But today we're just gonna have a little discussion on, because I don't have nothing really else to talk about. We'll have a little discussion on my AD series knives that I really love. My AD series Demko knives from Demko Knives. I absolutely love. And that's these. Got the two new ones. Yes, I received the package on Friday. I went ahead and put them together. I just want to do the video a little bit different this time. Instead of doing like it from an unboxing, I thought I'd do it from this point of view, show you the finished product. And I'm going to take this one apart and show you how it goes together. But these are the two new ones I was waiting from the original goat. Absolutely love them. This is my new purple one. It's got the shark's tooth pattern. Aluminum scales. Absolutely love these. I love the way the scales are made too, people. And they work perfectly. Centers out perfectly. These are absolutely beautiful knives, people. Highly, highly, highly recommend these kits. They definitely take this knife to another level. Definitely take it to another level. That's what Original Good always does. That's what they're famous for, is taking your standard pocket knives and taking them to another level, putting them on a custom level, a premium level. And this one right here, it's a pineapple pattern. It's one of my favorite patterns. I got this one really to be my everyday knife. And this is the one that had the broken scales. It came from the broken scales. This one right here, I'm just going to let you know what these are real quick. This is a Flytanium kit. And Flytanium, you have to request that you get the big pivot. You look at when you go on their site, they don't really have big pivots, I don't think. At least when I did this, they didn't. And you had to request it. You had to request a big pivot. They're made in Utah. They're made in the United States. So, if you put in the request, I would contact them first before you make your order and then put in a request. I had somebody tell me that they bought a set of these and then they tried to do them themselves and didn't really fit perfectly. But that's what I would tell you, because this one's perfect. These are perfect. Perfect, people. Perfect purple. Absolutely love them. It's from Flytanium. These are the Flytanium G10 scales. This right here, this is another shark's tooth. This is the one I mainly use on my AD20.5s. This is the one that gets used the most. This is one I recently did this past year. And this is my new favorite one to carry. I like it. I like to carry it even a little bit more than the G10 one because I just like the weight of it. The weight of it makes it just right for, I don't know, hand manipulation and stuff like that, people. You know me. And this one right here, this is my favorite. This is my favorite AD20. It's an AD20S model it's an old one, one of the original ones with the D2 blade, K110 Austrian D2. I absolutely love the K110 Austrian D2. It holds a really good edge, people. And I haven't had any chipping problems or anything like that. It's a really good steel. I know a lot of people don't like D2, but D2, holds the edge very well. All y'all that, claim that you like steels that hold edges very well, I would say try out this Austrian D2. The Austrian D2 holds the edge very well. I'm very happy with it. This is my favorite knife. This is my favorite folder, people. This one right here. Absolutely love it. It's got the purple G10 scales that came from Demko Knives, from John Demko himself. I totally refurbished that one because it was a beat up one that I bought on eBay. This is another one of my favorites. This is my favorite aluminum one, AD20. Absolutely love it. This one's got the OG1 pattern. OG1 pattern. Absolutely love it. I think what they call this an original goat is texture. Because I think what they have is the peel ply, and then the other one that they have, I think they just call it texture. It's really like a shark's tooth pattern, sort of. It's more comparable to a shark's tooth pattern. I love the OG pattern too. Original goat pattern. All right, people. So let's go ahead and take this one apart and get a good look at it. Get a good look at it. Put me over here like they progress, huh? All right. Need my wee-haws. The good old wee-haws. A little bit small. Uh-oh. Don't want to drop it on the floor. Here we go. And what size is this? Is that a T8 or T10? T10, people. It's a T10. T10 and a T6. T10 and a T6 is what you need. There's a couple little tricks to these. That's the reason why I want to take it apart and show you how it goes together. A couple of things you got to do right or it won't fit right. I absolutely love these original goat scales, people. Original goat scales are awesome. The only thing bad about them is that you have to wait. It's like that old ketchup commercial. Anticipation. You gotta wait. I'm just gonna leave the screws inside of here. Okay, the tip that I got to give, here, let's take it all the way apart. Because there's a couple things that you need to know. I've already put the skiffs in this one. This one has skiffs in it. Let's take the spring off. Okay, now we're a little bit dirty, huh? I need to clean it up a little bit. It's been being used, people. It's been being used. The pin that goes in the front is their small pin. The small pin goes in the front. Here's my rag. But look at these scales. Aren't these scales beautiful, people? That's what you get. Way better than the Ultem. I do not like the Ultem, people. Matter of fact, let me show you something. This is the box that my new kit came in. And so I put the old parts in here. The 2 scale sets. Both of these were Ultem knives. And I do not recommend Ultem, people. Oh no. Oh no. Look at this. You can see where it broke apart. I'm going to take it out and show it to you guys real quick. These scales are junk. Do not get Ultem. The Ultem scales from that they have on these are junk, people. They are total junk because the Ultem itself, I know, look at the way that this is made. This would be very sturdy if it was a sturdy material. Like if this is G10, the G10 one works perfectly fine. But the Ultem, it cracks. Because I just use this to carve a chopstick so I can knock a pin out of a knife. That's how it started cracking up on me. And it just like broke apart, people. I mean, like really totally just cracked apart without putting any kind of pressure on it. And this is junk. Do not get Ultem, people. And they're charging a lot for these scales, for Ultem Scales too. I would not buy any knife with Ultem Scales after this experience. And I have a couple more Ultem knives, but I've never had any problems with those. But after my experience with these, I'm just totally turned off. I am totally turned off to Ultem. I think only way Ultem can work for me is if it's like this one broke up too. Both of them have cracks in them. That's what I'm showing you. Both knives have cracks. They severely cracked up the handles. And I'm not a person who abuses knives or is rough on knives. I try to keep things nice and preserved, because down the road I may want to sell it. And if something's all beat up and all torn up and stuff, no, ain't nobody gonna want that. So I try to take care of things. I use my knives, but I don't use them and abuse them. I just use them. You can use things without abusing them. Sort of like a relationship with your woman. You can be abusive or you can be not abusive. I choose not to be abusive. I like to make things last, and if I want to sell them down the road, I could sell them. But these Ultem Scales, people, but I'm not mad though. The reason why I'm not mad, because these knives I got for $114 a piece, the 20 CV big pivot knives. And for less than, like, I don't know, these I think were, they weren't that expensive. They were like 70, 80 bucks, 60, 80 bucks or something like that. But it makes a knife be around, close to 200. But I'm also having a knife that's totally custom with the best parts possible. I just dropped a screw. I forgot I had the screws in there. The screw just fell on the floor, people. So I have to find that one later. But these are the best scales possible to me for this. Because these kind of scales are going to add strength to it, and it's going to make it so it doesn't have that issue anymore. So I would highly recommend going this route if you can. All right, people. So let's go ahead and put this one together. Now the thing that I wanted to show you on these, I'm going to take one off. I'm not going to take off the pocket clip. But on these, I just want to show you. That these have a D shape to them. So you have to put them in here, and the way that they fit in here. You have to follow the D shape. The D shape on this one goes up to the top, I think, if I remember right. And so you got to put it in there right. And so it sits down in there and seats down in here. Then you go ahead and put your screw in here, and you tighten it up. But you got to do that if you want it to fit right. That's a little tip, because I put it together the first time and I didn't pay attention to that and it didn't fit right. That's the reason why I'm pointing this out. All right, people. So let's go ahead and put it together. That's like pretty much the big tip. The front pivot goes to the front. Let me see if I make sure I'm putting it together right. Just the clip side. Okay, so that's the side the pivot goes on. And your flat on the pivot goes to the front. And put that in. Okay, bearings. These bearings already been lubed, so I don't need to re-lube them. Yeah, maybe put a little drop of oil on it. Doesn't hurt. Let that oil get in there. All right. Now your pins. That's the other thing I wanted to show you guys, is that the pins are different. You got two pins that are the same size, and you got two pins that are small. You got one, I think it's a 3.85 or 4, something like that, millimeter for the front one, and the other ones are 3.96 or something like that. Let's take a look. It's an important tip because, you know, it's another one of those fitment things if you don't do it this way, because it's only supposed to go together one way, people. All right. That's not zeroed out. Hold on. 0. Okay, now we're 0. 3.85. 3.85. That's your front one. So put your, it has little grooves in it. Put the grooves in up. Go to the next one. I'm going to show you what size these are. These are like 3.95 or something like that. 0 out. 3.94. That's one of your middle ones. Groove side up. Last one. Zeroed out. Keep getting up on the wrong group. There we go, right there. It says 3.94. All right. So I'm going to put that one in here. Groove up. Now we're ready to put it together, people. Got your spring. Wipe off all your parts. Got your spring. Like put a little drop of oil on the spring too. It's already been lubed. You know, matter of fact, I'm gonna put a little bit more lube on it. I like these that have a lot of grease on them. I think it makes the spring last longer. The tension of the spring and everything just seems to last a little bit longer when you lube the springs. And you can't be afraid to put grease on. These are enclosed springs, so that, you know, they're not going to attract dust and dirt and stuff. So the springs are enclosed, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, go ahead and drop it in. Little drop of oil. All right, well done with the lubes. Put this stuff out the way. Let's button it up. Take it for a test ride. Standing tall and looking good. Oh yeah. Make sure you got nice fitment, nice flush fitment. That's the way your fitment should look before you put it together. And if there's any kind of gaps, it's probably because you didn't do the barrel spacer the right way. Got one of these screws is on the floor. I'll get it later. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Just down to finger tight. That's all you got to do, people. I don't even put Loctite on these. I don't use any Loctite. Back it off a little bit. A little bit loose. Right there should be. Okay, there we go. Too tight. A little bit more adjustment. Oh, there we go, right there. Perfect. Absolutely love these people. I love the way they feel in my hand. I mean, it's just a really good feeling knife. It feels really good in your hand. And I think it's a awesome small knife. I would put these in, like, for me, it's a micro category. Because I usually carry a lot, knives that are a lot bigger. I should say a lot bigger. I just say bigger. Probably the ones I carry the most are probably the ones with the 3.5 and 4-inch blades. And the other one I like to carry is this one. But this is, I love these. Because I've always liked to carry little knives too for, like, like when I go to the post office and I want to do my mail at the P.O. box and stuff like that. And I don't want to scare off the sheeple. That's why I tend to like, small knives like this. And I've been carrying these as like a second knife. This is my left side carry. And my left side carry, for me, is my utility knife. And I carry my self-defense folder in my right side pocket for quicker access. Because I am right-handed. So for a utility knife, it can come out my left hand. Absolutely love these people. Absolutely love them. Uh-oh, got my fingernail there. One little trick that I do when I do these, let me use show you on the right hand setup. A little bit easier for me to do it on the right hand setup. But one thing I do is I always like to hold on to the pocket clip with my fingers. That's where I put my fingers, so that I don't let my fingers out the way of the path of the blade when the blade closes. I use the pocket clips. I hold on to the pocket clip, and then I operate the knife from there. See what I'm saying? My hand's always out the way. That's how you keep from cutting yourself. Your hand's always out the way. Hold on to the pocket clip. Now, what's bad about a technique like this, though, is when you go to your left hand and you don't have a pocket clip to hold on to. And you're used to holding on the pocket clip. So the only thing that you have left to hold on to is a little bit of the scale. Or you got to apply a lot of pressure. On this one, I'm applying a lot of pressure. I'm pushing it against my palm of my hand. And then I operate the shark's fin. Pull, release the shark's fin. And then I just use my wrist. That's one thing I love about this lock type, people, that the shark lock, it's really easy to operate with your left hand, with your weak side hand, the hand that you don't normally use, for things like this. I absolutely love these, people. To me, the shark lock, shark fin operated shark lock knives are the best of all the fidgeting type locks, or what I call fidgeting type lock is a lock that you can open like this with no effort at all. I mean, it's got to be super easy, people. Not like you see me operate the triad, the triad cold steel triad Demko folders like that. But that takes a lot more effort. This doesn't take any effort. I'm just moving my hand back and forth. This is like no effort at all. The only thing that's tough about the shark fin to me is that the fin itself, if you don't, wet sand it down a little bit, it bites into your fingers, people. It will bite into your fingers, and you will build up calluses. But that's the only thing. Like this one right here, this one's been all smoothed out. I don't know if you can see that, but it's been all polished and everything. So that's probably one of the reasons why this one's my favorite too, because this one doesn't hurt at all. I mean, it doesn't stress out your fingers at all, but it does make it a little bit slippier. But I rather have a little bit slippiness you know, and taking away that little bit of edge, because I don't need to have it be super grippy. I don't know if that did work, because I already got the finger muscle memory built up to this lock type. So I don't have to have it be, you know, like a super, you know, bite into my fingers or whatever, you know, super grippy. I don't need that. But I absolutely love this one, people. I think that's the reason why. You know, this one that's been modded the most out of all of these. Because all these are, you know, they're just like scale jobs. This one is a total, the scales didn't get modded on this one. These are stock scales from Demko knives. But the knife itself is modded. All the parts have been completely polished and completely, you know, perfected, because it was a damaged knife and I had to repair it. And so I refurbished it, you know, to better than new standards. It operates better than any, this one right here operates better than any of my other Demko knives, people. Better. This is the best operating one I have. Absolutely love it. Gotta have a Demko, people. Demko's rock. I love these, people. The only one I don't have that's evaded me is, oh yeah, the AD20, just the regular AD20, the thick one. I don't have the thick one. All my Demkos are thin. I think this is a 3.2 millimeter thick blade. Same thing with the AD20.5s. And these are AD20.5 Shark Cubs, but they have a lot thinner blade. This blade stock is like 2.4 millimeters thick. It's real thin. But that's what makes it cool, though. It makes it real slicey. Absolutely love these, people. Absolutely love the Demko folders. These are some of the best. And, you know, there's a reason why they cost so much. You know, they are the best. The Demko folders are the best. The only thing I wish that they would do was make like a true 4-inch blade, or not, maybe just like a slightly under 4-inch, you know, so it'd be legal everywhere. And I know that's the reason why they always do that. They don't like to make, you know, exactly 4-inch blades. They like to make it like a 3.9-inch blade. That's perfectly fine with me, you know, because that just means that, you know, it works better for the manufacturer, because there's more places that they can sell the knife at. You know, it's better for their profits. I totally get that. I totally get the reason why they don't go above 4 inches and stuff like that, because when you go above 4 inches, and, you know, there's a lot of places that don't allow knives that are certain lengths and stuff like that. And so it cuts down on the places that you can sell your product at. I understand that, but I still always like them to offer something that's bigger. You know, just offer it for the people that live in the places where they can have the bigger knives. And for me, the biggest knife that I can carry around legally in my city without any problems is a 4-inch blade. And so I would love a 4-inch AD20, AD20S, or probably the AD20S is the model I like the best, people, because I want a thick one just because I just want one, because I don't have one. Not because I want to carry it. I don't want a knife that's heavier than this. I like this. This knife right here is a perfect weight for me. Let me show you. .6 ounces. 6.0 ounces with metal scales. Now this is my favorite one. G10 scales. 5.4 ounces. That's my sweet spot. That's pretty much my sweet spot for knives, people. I really like 5 ounce to 5.5 ounce knives the best. And I like 6 ounce knives too, but I just like 5.5 ounce. Half an ounce makes a little bit of a difference. I don't know what it is. It just makes a little, I don't know if it's psychological or whatever. You know, it just, you know, makes a little bit of a difference. Absolutely love it. But back to these. Absolutely love them, people. Those are my Shark Cubs. My Shark Cubs. I have another one. I have a G10 one also. But that one's just stock. That one's just stock and unmodified. Came straight from Demko knives, and I put the skiffs in it. And that's the way it's been ever since I bought it. And that's the one I was carrying while I was waiting for the parts for these to come in. And I bought that one thinking that I was going to replace the scales on that one too, but I started to like the G10 scales. So all of you that want to get one of these, but don't want to go through all this of doing the original goat or changing your scales or whatever like that, I would recommend getting the G10 scale Shark Cubs. The G10 scales hold up. I would not get the Ultem scales. I would steer away from the Ultem scales. Do not buy. I cannot recommend Ultem. I would say not to buy it. I would highly recommend not to buy Ultem. Any AD20 series knife with Ultem scales, I would stay away from that. And I have two more AD20.5s with the Ultem scales. The ones I got on sale at BladeHQ. All these knives I got on sale at BladeHQ. I got my these two. They were 100. This one was 119. The one with the black finish was 129. And they're all 20 CV big pivot blades, and normally go in the $200 range. And so that's the reason why I jumped on them, because I knew I could change out the Ultem scales if I didn't like them with original goat scales. And that's exactly what I've done, people. And that's why I recommend. And I'd much rather have one of these than, like a stock G10 one. It's not too much different in price. It's about the same price. And I'm getting a custom knife with a custom feeling. Feels like it came from a custom maker. Well, I guess I am a custom maker. I happily, actually, this was a little bit too tight, feels like. Yep, let me loosen it up a little bit. Gotta loosen that one up a little bit, people. This one's perfect. But you know what? It's nice and tight. They're both nice and tight. They both have zero, I'm gonna leave it like that. They both have zero up and down, zero side to side, zero up and down, zero side to side. Same thing with these. No side to side, no up and down. These are the best, people. I think these are the best knives that you can get for folding knife. I don't think there's a better knife than either a triad lock knife or a shark lock knife. Those are my two favorites. If you're gonna ask me what my two favorite lock types are, I'm gonna tell you triad and shark lock right off the bat. Everything else comes next. Triad lock is number one for a self-defense knife or for a heavy-duty use knife, like a camp knife, camp folder. If you're gonna use your folder as a survival knife or a bug-out bag knife or something like that, or a bug-in knife or whatever you want to call it, I would go with a triad folder. If you're going to use a folder for that, I would not get any other kind of Loctite knife, folding knife for a survival use other than a triad folder. That's me, people. Now, when it comes for self-defense, everyday utility, and all that, and fidgeting, nothing's better than a shark lock. Nothing. If a lot of you don't know, or I'll never hear anybody talk about it, but this knife right here has a super duper lock. And the reason why I say that is that the lock is already super strong by itself because it's made so the spring won't, glide back. You have to lift up on this and pull it back to release the blade. And it's not a super fast release either. Like some of the knives that you see that have spine whacking issues that you don't have to pull back hardly at all on those knives to release the blade. That's part of the problem, I think. I think, it should be a little bit of an inconvenience, and you should have to pull back a little bit further, or have to go through a little bit more just to make sure that knife is locked up tight when it's in its locked position, so you don't have those kind of issues. That's my opinion. But this knife right here with the shark fin, it makes it super tough in the forward grip. Why? Because when you hold it like this and you put your finger on top of the shark fin, there's no way this is going to come unlocked. It's sort of like the AD15 when you're holding the handle scales. AD15. Here's the AD15. But when you're holding this one tight, you're holding the lock in place. So you're part of the lock. So this knife is not going to come undone, people. The AD15 is an awesome design for a work knife, if you ask me. I think it's a great work knife design because as long as you're holding it, it's not going to come undone. It's another one of my favorite Demko knives. And as y'all know, the Triad Lock AD10 is the king of strength. King of the strength for the 3.5-inch bladers. It's the king. It's this undisputed champion of the world. Love it. Love it. But these right here, you put your finger on it. This is a great self-defense folder too, people. But like I said, I want one a little bit longer. I just want one a little bit longer. You know, it's like a 3.7-inch blade. Let me see. I'm going to tell you exactly. 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. 3 5/8. Yep, 3 5/8. Almost 3 3/4. It's a little bit more than 3 5/8. It's not 4 inches though, people. But the handle size of this is like, oh man, I love this handle. I love the handle. To me, this handle and the handle from the Spyderco, yeah, I said a Spyderco, are the same. That's one reason why I like these knives. They both got the handles that I really enjoy. I never heard too many people talking about that. I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg, the Demko, the Demko or the Spyderco handle. I don't know who designed that type of handle shape first, but I love it. I love it. I love it, people. These knives are awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And this is my new one. It's going to be probably get carried the most out of all these that you see on this table. Well, these two get carried a lot too. I like these. These are my other favorites too, but these are the ones I primarily carry all the time, people. This one, you always see this in my drawer, this one in my drawer, and this is going to be the new one that's going to be in the drawer. But these are the ones that, you know, these are the other ones I like to carry too. You know, you might see them get flopped around. That's what I'm trying to tell you. One time I show my drawer, you know, you may see the purple one, the other time you might see the aluminum one. So that's the way that these will sort of go, because I'll be using all of these. These are my favorite folders to carry every day, people. The other, you know, these are knives that I've been carrying the AD20 series knives ever since I had them. And sure, I always check out and try out other knives, but my favorite #1 knife to carry are the Shark Lock folders. The Shark Lock folders, people. Now, if I feel like I need to carry a self-defense folder, you know, for a very self-defense reason, then that's when the Triad folders come into play. But my #1 everyday carry is probably, you know, if I'm not trying out something new or something like that, it's going to be one of these. Because these are my favorite knives. I like the Shark Lock the best, people. If it's my fidgeting purposes, if it's my self-defense purposes, if it's my utility purposes. This is the jack of all trades knife for me. It does everything well. It's the Magna Cut of folders, the Shark Lock. That's my opinion, people. That's my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. It's nothing to get mad about. Don't argue about it or anything like that. Everybody has their favorites. These are my favorites. And next to them, you know, these, you know, for self-defense, it's the Triad folders that you see in my box. All right, people. That's it for this one. I hope everybody's doing good today. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Peace. Stiletto.